I met Chukwuemeka in a Lagos coffee shop 3 years ago. He was scratching his arms, raw, angry patches that looked like someone had taken sandpaper to his skin. Eczema, the doctor said. Maybe psoriasis, they weren't sure. He'd been on steroids for 6 months. Nothing worked. We became friends, and when he told me he was coming to Seoul for work, I did something I'm still not sure was brave or stupid. I told him about my grandmother. My Halmoni lives in Incheon, in an apartment that smells like the forest after rain. The second you walk in, you smell it. Dried ginseng hanging from the ceiling, ginger roots piled in clay bowls, jujubes split open and drying on newspaper. It's not a pleasant smell, honestly. It's sharp, earthy, like the air itself is medicinal. She's 78 now. Her hands are rough, the kind of rough you only get from decades of digging, cutting, grinding. She doesn't hug. She doesn't say, "I love you." But when I was sick as a kid, she'd boil omija cha, 5-flavor berry tea, and sit next to me until I finished every drop. She doesn't speak English. She barely tolerates my Korean, but she knows plants the way other people know people.
Chukwuemeka didn't believe me at first. Your grandmother? She's going to fix this? He gestured to his arms, which were bleeding in spots from scratching. I shrugged. She's fixed worse. The meeting was awkward. Chukwuemeka bowed. Halmoni stared at him like he was a puzzle she needed to solve. She grabbed his wrist without asking, turned his arm over, squinted at the rash. Then she said something in Korean I didn't understand and disappeared into the kitchen. For 20 minutes, we sat there. Chukwuemeka looked at me, I looked at the ceiling. Then the smell started. If you've never smelled insam, Korean ginseng, being boiled, it's hard to describe. It's bitter and sweet at the same time, like the earth is being cooked down into something ancient. She added hwangi, astragalus roots, and baekbuyang, a wild white root I'd never even heard of. The kitchen filled with steam, the windows fogged up. She boiled it for 3 hours. When she finally brought out the bowl, it was dark brown, almost black, thick. It looked like mud. "Drink," she said in Korean. Then to me, "Tell him, every day, morning, night, no skip." Chukwuemeka took the bowl. He looked at me. I nodded. He drank. The first week, nothing happened. Chukwuemeka stayed at a guest house nearby and came every morning and evening for the brew. Halmoni barely spoke to him. She'd just hand him the bowl, watch him drink, then take it back. But by week 2, I noticed something. The redness was fading. Not everywhere, but around his elbows, the skin looked calmer, less angry. He stopped scratching as much. Week 3, he showed me his arms. The patches were shrinking. The bleeding had stopped. "What is she giving me?" he whispered. I didn't know. I'd asked her, but she just waved me off. "Old recipe," she said, "from the mountain." On the 18th day, something changed. Chukwuemeka came in the morning like always. Halmoni handed him the bowl. He drank half, then stopped. His face went pale. "I feel strange," he said. "Strange how?" "Hot, like burning." I looked at Halmoni. She was watching him, but her expression was unreadable. Then Chukwuemeka's hands started shaking. Not a lot, just a tremor. He put the bowl down. "What's happening?" I said. Halmoni said something sharp in Korean. I caught the word dok, poison, but that couldn't be right. "Halmoni, what did you put in this?" She looked at me. Her eyes were calm, but there was something else there, something I'd never seen before. "Tell him to finish," she said. "He's shaking." "Tell him." I turned to Chukwuemeka. His skin was flushed now, sweat beading on his forehead, but the rash was almost gone, like it was being burned away from the inside. "Chukwuemeka!" He picked up the bowl. His hands were still trembling, but he drank the rest. For a moment, nothing happened. Then Halmoni leaned forward and said in perfect slow English, "This root, it pushes out old poison, but sometimes it wakes up new things." I stared at her. "You speak English?" She ignored me. Her eyes were on Chukwuemeka. "You have something inside," she said to him. "Not just skin problem, something deeper." Chukwuemeka's face went white. "What are you talking about?" "Your father," she said. "He gave you something before he died." I don't know how she knew about his father. I'd never told her. Chukwuemeka had mentioned it once. His father passed when he was 12, some kind of sudden illness, but that was it. Chukwuemeka stood up. The bowl clattered to the floor. "How do you sit?" Halmoni said. Her voice wasn't loud, but it was steel. He sat. She reached into her apron and pulled out a small cloth bundle. Inside were seeds, dark red, almost black, with tiny white veins running through them. "This," she said, "is dok-seed, poison seed. I put 3 in your tea." My heart stopped. "You what?" She didn't look at me. "It is the only way to know what is inside." Chukwuemeka's breathing was shallow now. His eyes were wide. "What's inside me?" he whispered. Halmoni unwrapped the rest of the seeds and placed them on the table, 7 in total. "If skin heals but body stays sick," she said, "it means the poison is deeper, old poison, passed down." I looked at my grandmother, then back at the bowl, and realized this wasn't just about a skin condition anymore. We had opened a door I wasn't sure we could close.